Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the Good News, live at 9 on Facebook and available later on our YouTube channel. It is 9 a.m. Friday, September 9th. Please be sure to comment in the chat. This is a presentation of the Allen Park Presbyterian Church. I am Suzan Maxey. I'm an elder at APPC, and my co-host is...
Dun, 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 dun.
Da-da-da.
Kerri Van. I am a deacon. I am the congregational care coordinator, and I work at the church. Good morning,
We're three
everyone.
hats, huh?
Yes.
I'll admit to right now.
at least three hats. I like that. Hats are cool, right?
Yep.
Morning, Kerri and Margot. So it is Friday, September 9th. I'm having a hard time saying September. It doesn't want to come freely out of my mouth. But as you know and I know, with the kind of work that we do, like we probably have been working on September for a few weeks now, so that's kind of sad. Morning, Judy Hatch, Kevin Vaughn, Judy Sutherland. Good morning, everyone. Today our special guest will be Norma Bentley. She is the Ministries coordinator at Allen Park Presbyterian Church. And we're going to do, hi, Sandy Sauerback. We're going to talk about GriefShare, which is starting next week. We have a lot of stuff going on at the church, don't we, Sue?
Well, yeah, it's fall, so the fall kickoff. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a blood drive today, noon to 6, and walk-ins are welcome. And I think one of the most exciting things is Sunday school is returning this fall. We don't have the details quite yet, but stay tuned because they're coming. And something I know near and dear to your heart is the youth service team. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Maureen Klein is going to be doing the, hi, Ken and Robin Allen. Maureen Klein is going to be doing the children's time, and it's the official launch of the new youth service team. It's going to combine every single good thing about youth group, including mission and service work, which will include the entire congregation. Working together with youth is super rewarding. I've done it for so many years. Their first project will be on Monday. Is it Monday? No, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, September 17th. And it's going to be planting daffodil bulbs around the city. So next spring, they'll all come up. And that is open to anyone. They're going to do it from 10 a.m. to noon. And you meet at the church, bring your gardening gloves, and carpool to wherever areas they will be planting in. You'll learn more. We're going to be sending out some emails because once something starts, it rolls out quick. There's going to be a mission trip, June 2023 mission trip. Can't believe I'm even saying that. It's been so long. And there's going to be a meeting next Sunday after church in the parlor. So be sure you're following our emails. Maureen will do some more talking about this on Sunday, and we'll have an article in the Light for you to read. Good morning, Judy Martin from Kansas, Amy Bowerman, Bob Ando. Good morning, friends. So that's pretty exciting to get so many things are coming back. Wait till you see the bulletin this week. It's back to its natural size. So that's a great indicator, right, Sue?
Yep.
Great. And then also Sunday, this has nothing to do with the church other than we rented them some space to have an event. Downriver Butterflies is having a plant exchange in the south parking lot. It's a free event. You're not allowed to sell anything. So if you're a person that, Amy, how exciting, I agree. If you're the kind of person that likes to do that type of thing, show up and have fun.
Bring some plants to exchange, eh?
Yeah, and then if we want to keep talking about that parking lot, trunk or treat. Sue, have we officially asked you to do a trunk yet?
Yes, and I have agreed. So.
All right, because I was going to make that. I was going to ask you right here live. That's
Put me on the spot, eh?
Yeah,
I already said yeah.
I was watching your face closely. We haven't done the trunk or treat in a few years. As you know, we did drive-throughs in our alley. We're going back to working with the DEA in the city. Culver's is a sponsor, Kiwanis is a sponsor, and it's really, really fun. If you'd like to just decorate your trunk, doesn't matter how elaborate, the one I did was really awful, but kids don't care. Kids don't care. They come through.
The bag of stuff.
Yeah,
The
it's a
goodies.
fun event. So look, read the light this week, October 28th. I'll make an event on Facebook. And Sue, this is close to your heart, the craft fair.
Oh, yeah. The PW. It's not until November 12th, but as we've already talked about it, fall is already here, and I don't know if we were really quite ready for it. So November will be here before we turn around. We always ask for baked goods for donations, of course, but if you don't bake, but you do something crafty, we will be accepting donations this year of handmade items. So get busy. Elaine Doran tells us that the tables are almost completely sold out. You need to check with Elaine Doran to see if you want one, if she does have any more available. And also the circles begin their Bible studies this week. Phoebe is one that is on Zoom. If you would like to join us, contact me for the Zoom link. Dorcas, I believe, meets in person in the parlor. If Anne is with us, I'm sure she could tell us exactly what day and when. I believe it's Wednesday, the second Wednesday, which is technically this week, I guess, isn't it? So I think we might be meeting this week on Wednesday. I know Phoebe normally meets the first Monday, but because the Labor Day, we will be meeting this coming Monday. The Bible study this year is called Celebrating Sabbath, Accepting God's Gift of Rest and Delight. If I can get my act together here, I will show you what the cover of the book looks like. So yeah, Celebrating Sabbath.
Great.
We heard the author, Carol Bechtel, Reverend Dr. Carol Bechtel, at the Synod gathering. She was very interesting, and I think the study is going to be really good. So hopefully anyone who would like will join us.
All right. And on a more somber note, if you haven't heard, Rita's not in the office for a period of time due to the death of her mother. If you need anything, you can contact me or Pastor Tim. We're trying to fill her shoes while she's gone and keep things running smoothly. I hope that we can respect her privacy during this very difficult time, and cards and texts are appropriate. And also, Beth Stanton, who worked in the office with us, her memorial service will be Saturday. Visitation is from 12 to 1 in the narthex with the family, and the service will be at 1, and it will be live streamed. So we hope you keep these families in your thoughts and prayers. And we should probably get to Norma before she thinks we have forgotten about her.
Well, one more thing that's happening today is the farmers market. We can't forget them. They're from 3 to 7 in the parking lot across from the church at Park and Harrison.
Right, and our connection with the farmers market, at the last farmers market of the season is when we hold our trunk or treat.
Yeah.
So that will be the last one, the last farmers market, October 28th, and we'll be doing our trunk or treat that day. All right, so should we bring Norma in, Sue?
I think that would be a great idea.
All right, here we go. Give her a chance to get in and get connected.
I see her name.
Me too. I'm just happy to see them in the waiting room. That's my
Oh, yes, I know. Please don't forget.
Right.
I've got to show my face though.
Okay,
Yes,
Ann
we want
Winslow.
to see you.
Ann Winslow, Sue Ann Winslow is watching. Dorcas Circle will meet in the parlor Tuesday at 1. That is the 13th. And she wants to know if you have her Bible study book, Sue. So
No, I do not. I'm still trying to
There we go.
run it down. So I'm sorry, Anne, that they have not come in yet.
All right, Norma, you
I made it.
are,
You did it.
yay.
Hi, Norma.
Good
No-
morning.
Norma is a night person like Suzanne.
Yay.
So,
I am, and yes, and I don't usually talk in the morning because it's just me and my dog.
oh, we
I
should
have
have
a
had
big-
you. Yeah,
I have a
You
big
wanna
cup of
talk to the
coffee.
dog?
The
yeah.
dog's here. Holly's here. She's here's Kerri's voice because when we do GriefShare, we have an after GriefShare visit, just the two of us for some downtime. So she knows Kerri's voice. So she's starting to move around. Hopefully she won't interrupt.
Amy Bowerman said, we didn't even introduce you, hang on. Amy Bowerman said, let's give Pastor Tim a break today as he recovers from immunotherapy, and Norma is the best. So yes, if you need something, just contact me or call the office. There's some people at the desk. So our
Yeah.
guest today is my good friend, Norma Bentley. She's our grief ministry coordinator. And we thought it would be a great time to talk about GriefShare, which is starting. It's hard to believe, Norma, because it seems like just yesterday we ended our session. It goes on for quite some time, and we're getting ready to do it all again. And we
Yeah.
welcome those grieving to join us.
Yeah, we already have, I think 4 signed up for the loss of spouse, which starts the 15th, which is this coming Thursday, and 6 so far that signed up for the 13-week GriefShare. So we go from the 15th of September to December 15th. And we also have Surviving the Holidays, which is the Monday before Thanksgiving, November 21st. And it's all via Zoom. It's worked out really well. The Zoom meetings worked out better than I thought they would. I was a little nervous when we first did them. And it's almost 2 years now, I think, right, Kerri?
Yes.
I think we did Surviving the Holiday in December 2020. And I had already scheduled GriefShare workshop in March, the end of March of 2020, and then COVID hit. And I had to cancel it all. And I was waiting for COVID to go away, and it didn't. And we weren't having GriefShare. And then Kerri and I were talking. Pastor Tim wanted to start GriefShare. It was getting close to the holidays. It was the end of the year. And that's when Kerri encouraged me. She said she would help me with the Zoom. And I was okay with that because I'm technically challenged. I couldn't have done it on my own. And then she eventually became my co-leader as time went on with we've done, I think this will be our 3rd workshop together. So, and I've been doing it for 16 years. I've been a co-leader for 16 years, and it's not an easy ministry, but it's a rewarding one because you get to see people start to heal. Each week during the 13 weeks, they start to bond with each other, and they share their grief, and they feel validated. Because they're with people that are grieving. They can cry if they want to. The only thing about not doing it in person is we can't hug them and we can't pass them Kleenexes. So that's hard, but it's worked out really well. I did 14 years of it in person, and I can tell everybody the reason why I did it and where my commitment started.
Yes, I'd love to hear this too.
Because I just told Kerri yesterday, we had to test Zoom because I haven't done Zoom since June because I have no reason except for GriefShare pretty much. And I said, maybe we should test it out. So I told her this story about where my commitment started, but I'll tell first why. I had lost my husband to pancreatic cancer in November of 2004, only 3 days before Thanksgiving. And our first grandchild had been born. She was 9 weeks old when he passed. But I not only had lost my husband, I had also lost my mom while he was in the critical care unit in August of 2003. He was recovering from major surgery for pancreatic cancer, and she passed. And then 7.5 months later, my mother-in-law passed away from pancreatic cancer, only 5 weeks after her diagnosis. Then 7.5 months later, my husband passed. So that was a lot to endure. It was a lot of pain and sorrow in my family. For me, Chris Meyer had started GriefShare at our church. He was our parish nurse. about a year before my husband died. I didn't really go to it, but I went to Camp Wakanda, and this is where my commitment started, is I was the babysitter for my granddaughter. My daughter was one of the counselors for the 5th and 6th grade camp, and Chris Meyer was the nurse. Chris and I were sitting outside at night. Sophie was sleeping, and just the two of us. And I was telling her about all I'd been through, all the pain and sorrow, and that I'd been praying to God to take that pain and sorrow and make something good out of it so I could help others who were grieving. And that's when she asked me to be her co-leader at Camp Wakanda. I've only been to camp twice to stay. The other time was when I was a mentor for confirmation. And there's something very special about Camp Wakanda. It's very spiritual, and that's where my commitment started with. And I became a co-leader, and that was 16 years ago. And she has since left. Chris Meyer left, and I took over the grief ministry. And it's been, I don't know, it's just been, I can't even explain. It's my passion to help others who are grieving, because I remember what I went through. I felt so alone because people are uncomfortable when they're around people who are grieving. And when you're in a group, once you get over your nervousness, when you first join GriefShare, you start realizing you're with people that understand. And I don't know if anybody's got any questions about GriefShare. I don't know.
Pastor Tim said, good morning. Thank you, Norma and Kerri, for the GriefShare ministry. Judy Martin said your GriefShare ministry was a great help for a dear friend of mine. I know that I have been promoting GriefShares. I've been with the church a long time, and I knew so much about it, but I had no idea what it was really about until I started doing this with Norma. For the first couple of meetings, I thought I was going to combust. It was so intense, and it was so real. And like Norma said, you can see recovery happening as the weeks go on, and to see people just get a little relief from this so they can just breathe just a little bit better. It's a wonderful ministry.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful ministry. And I'm Norma, I do have a question, because a couple of people have called me to ask me about in person. There are people, I love the Zoom because I'm all about technology and not having to drive all around and everything. Plus, it's great in the winter. But there are those who'd rather meet in person. Do we have something concrete that we can tell them, or?
Yeah,
Southminster Church is going to have in person. That's in Taylor. I know the one of the co-leaders. Her name is Kandi Wood. I actually helped her get GriefShare started in our church because she had come to GriefShare when Chris and I were doing it. Her husband had passed away, and she wanted to get GriefShare started in our church a couple of years after that. So I helped her I actually was at her very first meeting at that church because she was nervous, and I'd already been doing it for a while. So I know her really well. She's very nice. Actually, she and I were co-leaders together for about 2 years, taking turns at each other's churches. So we'd meet for one workshop at our church, and then the next time we would meet at her church. And we did that until COVID hit. So hers is coming up. Loss of Spouse is on the 19th, which from 6:30 to 8:30. And then she has a 12-week GriefShare workshop starting on 9/26 on the same night. I think they're Monday nights and 6:30, and hers is in person. But right now we're going to continue via Zoom. I was pleasantly surprised how well it's gone. And there's people that really would prefer doing Zoom. And plus you can have people from out of state join us. Maybe
Which
they
we
don't have a
have.
grief. Yeah, we've had people from out of state. Maybe they don't have a GriefShare close to them. There was one lady we had recently that was looking specifically for a Zoom because she couldn't even leave her bed. She was in so much pain from her grief. That was our last GriefShare. and she joined. She actually, Kandi had from Southminster referred her to us because she couldn't leave the house. She was in so much pain, and she joined, and you could tell each week, Kerri and I could tell each week, she wouldn't even show her face because she was in so much pain. So that's another good thing about Zoom is they don't, if they're having a hard time, they can turn off the visual part, and they can still watch the movie and they can still participate. Not everybody talks, but a lot of them, as weeks go on, they start sharing their stories. They even stay in contact with each other. And I believe there's a need for doing it via Zoom. We're the only church, I believe, in the Downriver area there's some in Detroit that are doing via Zoom, but most of them are in person now. You can go to the GriefShare workshop, I guess, or website, and there's a list of churches too in the Downriver area. But this one particularly, the one in Taylor, I know the leader, Kandi, so I know she's really good. So
Right, so Sandy Sauerbeck said that she attended GriefShare years ago, and it's a safe place for those grieving. Absolutely.
it is.
So, summer, everyone got through summer and they did what they could. And if you know someone who could use this, we have lots of options now. The loss of a spouse is specific
Mhm.
to a loss of a spouse, but the regular grief workshop is for any loss. So keep that in mind. Not a lot of churches are doing the loss of a spouse. It's definitely a really good one. So it's just
Yes.
a one night class. Judy Martin said her friend would not have been able to do GriefShare without Zoom. She is now interested in starting a GriefShare where she lives, which is in Michigan, but nowhere near the church. So that's how seeds get planted
Mhm.
and how ministries grow.
Yeah, that's exactly that's, like I said, that's how Kandi came to GriefShare, and now she's a leader. And so that's what it's all about. And the thing about GriefShare when you're a leader is to be able to witness. It's such an honor to witness, to be part of a person's grief story and see them on that first night. They're so nervous. They don't know what to expect. They're in a lot of pain. And each week, as they watch a movie and share their stories or listen, they start healing. You can actually visually and hear it in their voices. It's just that's what it's all about. That's why I do this, because I remember how people were uncomfortable around me. They wanted me to go back to how I was, and that's not ever going to happen. You're never going to be the same person you were before you lost a loved one. You're just not. You're a different person. It's a new normal. I hate that term, but that's exactly what it is. You move forward in life, but your heart's broken, and it heals, but it takes time, and each person's different how they heal. And I don't push GriefShare on people because I don't think that's right. It's not for everybody. The people that come, they come because God has definitely put it in their heart to come, and they do heal. I've seen it. It's beautiful, but it's hard. It's, as Kerri found out, it's not an easy ministry, but it's so rewarding. It's just, I wish I just remember feeling so alone when I first had all those losses. And of course, and it helped me to heal, doing GriefShare. It helped me to heal. And I've had several losses since, of course. I mean, that's part of life. But being part of the GriefShare, it's helped me being around other people that are grieving, because they get it. So
Right, and we don't charge anything for GriefShare. GriefShare is free. There's a booklet that GriefShare wants you to have, if at all possible. The book for loss of a spouse is $5, and it's nice to have, so you can read it later. And there is a $20 what is it called?
a journal. It's more
a journal. But if you've already purchased it, as long as you're using the same email to register at GriefShare, you don't have to rebuy it. You can use the same one. And sometimes people love the journal and they love journaling, and sometimes they don't use it, they look at it later, but if you have problems with that, just let Norma know and she'll contact GriefShare and get that all. We have a returning GriefShare friend who had a problem and Norma took care of it, so she didn't,
Yep.
you don't need another book, you already have one.
No, and there's a booklet for the surviving the holidays too. That's $5 also, but I don't, now the GriefShare program, the movie and the workbook are really important. I never push the workbook on anybody. I don't give anybody homework. They want you to give them homework and then come back the next week and they can discuss it. I think people who are grieving are going through too much as it is. I'm not going to put more on them, but I encourage them to read the journal. And if they like journaling, go ahead and journal. If they want to talk about anything, it's got scripture in it. There's a lot of good advice in the journals, but I'm not about to give them homework, and they're going through a hard enough time. It's sometimes hard for them to come back even. I mean, each week a lot of them will say, I wasn't going to come back tonight, but because I'm tired, it's hard, but I needed to be here. So.
Yeah, and I've seen people going through the worst times of their life who purposely set aside, the 2 hours and really made it a point to come every week. And that is a good step in taking care of yourself.
Yep, it is.
Definitely a good step. So.
Yeah, yes. And it's been, Kerri and I'll be 2 years, I think December, that we started doing this together. And we work really well together. We're friends too to begin with, which always helps. We're good friends. And I don't know, I think it's helped. People are returning because I think they really like how we work together and that we give them comfort and hope and try to help them get through the toughest time in their life. So it's not, I mean, we don't heal them. We can't heal them. Only God can do that. And them, it takes a lot of work when you're grieving. It's exhausting. So, but
yes,
it's a good
Norma
program.
Norma does know all my deepest, darkest secrets. And I also did not go to GriefShare when I was going through the worst time of my entire life, but I had Norma and she helped me even though I didn't go to GriefShare, and I'm sure that was a lot. But wow, it's almost 9:30, Norma. I could go on. We could go on talking about this for hours.
Well,
I would like to know like how you ended up at APPC to begin with.
My daughter was going to preschool there. So we became members in 1980. I had been Catholic, actually. Lad and I had gotten married at Cabrini, but he had never been baptized. So we didn't really go to church, but we signed Karen up for preschool. And then Woody, who was one of the ministers back then, called us because we had been coming to church and asked if we'd like to become members. So we became members because of Karen going to preschool there. So, and that's how long I've been members. And I'm very grateful for the church. I've been through a lot, and people at the church and all the ministers that have been there have always been there for me and my family. So I'm grateful. That's how we became.
Yeah, that's a good question, Sue. Good on you. And I mean, you do have a lot of family at the church too. So
yeah, I got Nancy, the cake bake. Nancy Atkinson's my sister-in-law, and she makes all the cakes.
She's a good friend to have. I love Nancy so much.
So you mentioned your sister-in-law, not your brother.
Oh yeah, because she makes all the cakes.
Okay. Let's get our priorities straight.
Well, I mean, really, when we think about I mean, he's my brother. What can I say?
Yeah, your brother. Okay.
The sibling thing. I can't wait for them to watch this later.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
I know they don't watch live, but they watch later. So Phil and Nancy, we love you.
Yes.
I love you, Phil, too. Oh gosh, I
love you, Phil.
We all love you, Phil.
Yes, we do.
How funny.
Oh,
Okay.
All right, so we probably should let people get on to the business of their day. It is going to be an amazing, beautiful weather day. Try to find the good in something today, no matter where you are. Oh, we're getting so many hearts. Thank you. if you need help, if you have a question, if you don't feel comfortable in any way, please reach out to Norma. Text her, email her, call her, whatever you have to do. She'll walk you through what's needed. Whatever you need, just let her know. You can reach out to me for anything else. Sue too. So just have a great day. Sue, where's our wrap up? I gotta find my script here.
Well, the scripture for today is
Okay.
from Ephesians 2:10. And it says, if I can push the right buttons here. For we are God's masterpiece. He has created us anew in Christ Jesus, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. So.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
All right, so we will see you next Friday for the Good News Live at 9. Sue and I made a commitment to do recruitment of guests, which neither one of us has done because we're busy doing other things.
So if you would like to be a guest, or you would like to nominate somebody to be a guest,
For the love of everything holy, please reach out.
Yes,
We will interview anyone. Just reach out. It's fun. All you gotta do is jump on Zoom with us. We make it easy. It's like having coffee with
friends.
Yep, and I'm using my cup that Norma got me, and she has a big cup too. So
And I don't drink coffee, but you get the gist.
you get the gist. So don't be shy. Everybody has a story. And last week we interviewed Robin Allen. It was wonderful. I know her and didn't even know a fraction of her great stories. So don't be shy. If you run a group, you're from the city, you're from the church, or you just like talking, let us know.
Yeah,
Please
want to hang out with us.
Yes, because Sue has on our script, our guest will be question mark, period. So let us know, because we love you guys and we love doing this. All right.
Yeah, if
time
your
to
name is
scroll
question mark, please give us a call.
So, friends, remember, you are a beloved child of God. God loves you, and so do we.
And so do we.
Have a great day, friends.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Norma.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Norma.
It was nice. It was good. It's a good experience to be interviewed. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye, everyone.